name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to be going over my UK and Ireland haul. So this is going to include souvenirs, I guess, that I bought for myself, as well as all the books that I purchased. We're going to get into the items first, and then into the books. Okay, so I ended up going to basically all of the capitals in the UK and Ireland. We went to London, Cardiff, Edinburgh, and Dublin. We actually went to London twice, once at the beginning and once at the end. So we didn't buy any souvenirs in London until the last time we were there. So I'm actually going to be sort of going in order, at least with the items, from Cardiff, Edinburgh, Dublin, and then London. So in Cardiff, we didn't really buy anything that was like too Cardiff-y because they didn't really have anything like that. We did end up getting a book that I will show you guys in a little bit, but while we were in the bookstore, I also picked up a tote bag. This is the like Penguin Books, the casebook of Sherlock Holmes one by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. This, I just am absolutely in love with Sherlock Holmes stuff, and you can never have enough tote bags, and it was adorable. So we bought this in Cardiff. After Cardiff, we moved to Edinburgh, and again, didn't really buy too many things there for myself, but we did buy a book. I will show you that in a little bit. One other thing that we bought while we were at Edinburgh Castle, because I just apparently could not help myself, was a pair of socks. And it's these socks here. They are just like super cute fox socks. They're super long. I have not tried these on. Obviously, there's still a tag on there. I could not help myself. I don't know what it was. It's just a pair of socks, but they're like super cute, super soft, super long, so I had to buy them. Then we went to Ireland. I actually am going to include this now instead of with the books, mostly because it's not actually like a book, but we did go to Marsh's Library, which is the first public library in Dublin. It was opened in 1707 and it was super cool. We couldn't really take any pictures or anything there, so I did purchase a postcard though. And then there was also, it says Scary and Hairy Tales from Marsh's Library. Nothing super scary, but this includes true tales of things that happened in the library over the hundreds of years since it was started. Some of the illustrations are a little bit creepy in here, but again, it's not really anything like a book too much. It was more about just like little things that happened there. It includes little things in here that are true, some about the history of the library, some that like the fact that Bram Stoker, who wrote Dracula, visited the library before. I think he used to go there. It's just some sort of like cool informational guide about some of the stuff that actually happened in this old library. I also purchased a bookmark. This I just purchased, I think, in the airport in Ireland because we were on our way out, but I couldn't help myself. This is just sort of like a Celtic knot style bookmark, and it is a metal one, and I liked it. The last thing that I purchased while I was in Dublin, it is in this little green bag here. This we bought right after we went to the Dublin Castle, and it is a Claddagh Ring. So this is one of those things where I first heard of it and saw it on Buffy. So of course, me being the geek that I am, had to purchase a Claddagh Ring in Ireland. This is super, super cool. They do have different meanings for it. The heart, I believe, is for love, hands are for friendship, and crown is for loyalty. This one is actually, you wear it on your right hand with the heart pointing towards your wrist. If you are taken, if you were single, you would wear it with the heart tip pointing towards your fingers. I have heard that other people can move it onto their left hand, like when they get engaged and married and that kind of stuff. I obviously have my own wedding band there, so we're gonna just be wearing it on my right hand. And then everything else that I purchased was from London, some sort of thing that we were doing there, so let's jump right on into that. The first kind of things that we purchased in London were just sort of London-y items. Again, it was cute. I couldn't help myself. I purchased a set of tweezers that have a guard on there, and it just says London on it. It was cute. I needed a new pair of tweezers. These are the kinds I like. It was adorable. Then I also purchased baby clothes. This was my honeymoon. We are planning on having a family. I am definitely at that point where I want a baby. So every single time that we went somewhere that had baby clothes, all I did was like, baby clothes, so cute. And I finally wore my husband down and we bought one that is just a super cute London-y sort of scene. We obviously don't have a baby. We don't know if they are going to be a boy or a girl. So I thought this was a super cute, like, unisex, gender neutral one. I couldn't help myself. I bought it, okay? No judging me. Then my husband had a great idea, and I mean, I sometimes do this, not all the time, but we should keep some coins. So we ended up doing one of every denomination of pounds that were still in coins. 2 pounds, 1 pound, 50 pence. I really like that this one is like not an actual circle. It has like the edges, which is super cool. 20 pence. Again, I like that it's not a perfect circle. 10 pence. 5 pence, which is super tiny and cute. And also 1 penny. Then we did go to the Warner Brothers studio tour, so like the Harry Potter tour there, and had to buy some items there as well. First, we bought an enamel pin that is Free the House Elves. It was just super cool. I couldn't help myself. Then I also purchased my own ticket for the Hogwarts Express. I really like the design of this. I like that it's from London to Hogwarts, and it's like super fancy. I just really, really like this. And then I also purchased a Metal Earth kit for a golden snitch. I have made one of these before for one of the spaceships from Mass Effect. I believe it was a Turian cruiser. And so when I saw this one, I thought it would be really, really cool to do. While we were there, we also purchased a Butterbeer, and my husband got one of these plastic Butterbeer mugs, mostly because he knows I like mugs, and so he bought it for me because he loves me. We have gone to the Universal Studios with Harry Potter stuff there, the one in California, and so we actually have a couple mugs for Butterbeer already, but they are a different style. The only time I've seen this style is actually at the Warner Brothers Studios tour. As far as I know, they don't have this one at the Universal Studios, and so I was not asking for this, but he knew me enough that he bought it anyway, and so, I mean, like I said, he loves me. And then last but not least, for Harry Potter, again, couldn't help myself. It was too cute. I got another onesie. This one is obviously a Harry Potter onesie. It is slightly bigger than the other one because they didn't have any small onesies there. But again, this is totally unisex. It is nice, like yellowy, orangey, gray colors, and it has all the houses on there. It has like Harry's glasses, and a hat, and a scarf, and Hedwig, and the golden snitch, and it's just super cute. One other bonus with this, it's in the shirt, but it also came with a cute little matching bibby thing. So, I mean, this is adorable. I don't have a baby yet, but I couldn't say no to it, okay? Then after we went to Harry Potter, the next day we actually went to the Sherlock Holmes Museum. I absolutely love Sherlock Holmes, both the movies, TV shows, and the books, so this was a great place to go. I got a couple things there. First was a bookmark. They had a few different designs, but this is the one I chose. It has a magnifying glass on the top, and then a quote in the middle with Sherlock Holmes, like, silhouette on the bottom. And the quote says, "There is nothing more deceptive than an obvious fact." We also picked up this, like, metal Baker Street sign. So it has Baker Street, it has a Sherlock Holmes silhouette, and it also says City of Westminster on there. I just thought this was super, super cool. And then wrapped in this here, I love mugs, so we bought a mug. It says 221B Baker Street, Sherlock Holmes, 1881 to 1904, consulting detective. And then on the other side, it says, "We met the next day and inspected the rooms at 221B Baker Street." This was, they had quite a few different mugs there. This is one of the simplest designs, but I just really love the fact that it was more about like the place 221B Baker Street, with a little bit of the like who Sherlock Holmes was, and then like the quote that I believe is actually from the novel. The Sherlock Holmes Museum is actually at 221B Baker Street, so it's adorable. And then I did buy one more item at the Sherlock Holmes Museum, and that is a Sherlock Holmes bear. I was going to buy a bear that was like a London bear previously, and we did actually buy some for souvenirs for other people, but when I saw this one, I could not give it up. It's an exclusive to the Sherlock Holmes Museum. He has his little like jacket and his hat, magnifying glass. He even has a little pipe here, and then on his foot it has the Sherlock Holmes Museum at 221B Baker Street. I could not say no to his little face. It's just adorable. So those were all the items I purchased. So now we're gonna jump into the books. Now, I have 14 books to show you guys. I had no self-control. I did not buy as many books as I would have liked leading up to the honeymoon maybe. So when I did purchase books, I went ham, went all in. Now normally I do purchase books when I go on trips that are in the languages from that place. So for example, I do have a copy of The Iron Trial by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare in German from when I went to Germany. I do also have some Chinese books. I do also have some Chinese books in Chinese. I don't think there is a counterpart in English, but I did purchase some books when I went to China with my husband a couple years ago. So this is a thing that I do. That's usually how I do souvenirs. So 3 of the books are like that. The rest are just because I wanted books. So the first book that we have here is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. This is the Welsh edition. This I did buy in Cardiff, and it actually has Harry with an I, which I think is adorable. This is like the newerish covers that they did in the UK a few years ago, and the entire thing is going to be in Welsh. So of course, I cannot read that, but it's super cool. I like it. Then we also have Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, the Scots edition. So now, Scotland does not really have its own language. They do have Scottish English, so it's still English, but it's not like exactly the same. It's not going to be a completely separate language like in Wales or Ireland, but I did find one that worked. This is going to be, mostly it's hilarious to me. This is the old original cover here, and I just absolutely love, one, that it's Philosopher's Stain, like it's not stone. That's great. But also just like the titles of the chapters are amazing. The way it's worded, I think I found a paragraph in here that I just really, really liked. I read it to my husband one day. Let me see if I can actually find it. So it's on page 2. It's like literally in the very beginning of this book. And it's like, at 8:30, Mr. Dursley lifted his briefcase, gied Mrs. Dursley a wee kiss on the cheek, and racked down to give Dudley a kiss, but couldna, because Dudley was no gun his dinger and plasterin' his walls with cereal. What a roguey launched Mr. Dursley as he left the hoose. He got into his car and backed out o' number 4's drive. Now, that is how it looks. Plasterin' the walls with cereal. And backed out o' number 4's drive. Okay? Like, I'm not even trying to make it weird, but like if you read it the way it looks, it's amazing. I love this. It is adorable. But this is the one that we bought in Scotland. And then I'm sure you guys are sensing a pattern here. This is what we purchased in Dublin. So now there is an Irish language. However, from what I have heard while we were in Dublin on tours and things like that, back when England was in charge of Ireland, like the whole of Ireland, they did actually make Irish illegal to speak. So there are not very many people in Ireland that actually speak that language. Most people speak English, but we were able to find this book at the bookstore And again, it's just something I cannot read, but it is super cool. Again, this is what I do for souvenirs, so I had to buy it. Because my other two were Harry Potter, I guess I had to make this one Harry Potter. It just made sense. So these were the 3 books that we bought as like souvenirs for the other places we went to. London obviously is English, so we weren't going to be able to find books from other languages there. So everything else that I have here were books that as we went to these bookstores, I would see and be like, ooh, I think I want. But we can't put them in a suitcase because we have so many other plane rides that we need to do. Maybe when we go back to Waterstones in London, I will take a look. And so I did. And I found quite a bit of books. So now I was trying to be really good. I only really bought books that are either like you cannot really get them in the US because they're just not really published here. So I would have had to do book depository. And why do that when I'm already there? Or books that I could get in the US, but I really, really like prefer the covers from the UK, which again, I could probably get them on book depository, but if I'm already there, might as well. So basically that's what I did. So we're just gonna jump right on into these. The first one that I purchased is a version of Anne of Green Gables by Ellen Montgomery. This is one of my favorite classics. It's the book that I remember the most getting me into reading when I was younger. I absolutely had a crush on Gilbert Blythe for like in elementary school, I think. And this is a version I have never seen anywhere in the United States in the bookstores. And so I had to purchase it. It is just super, super cute. Then I purchased The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay. I believe it was either in Edinburgh or Dublin, I did see a table with 3 of Paul Tremblay's books on it. One was this one, the other was Head Full of Ghosts, and I can't remember the second one's name because this is the most recent version of his books. I really want to read Head Full of Ghosts. I have a coworker that I work with at Barnes & Noble who absolutely loves it. She loves horror, but she's very picky about her horror, and if she likes horror, it's probably pretty good. They did not have that one at the London Waterstones, but they did have this one, and I did want to read this one as well. Also, blurred by Stephen King. If a horror book is going to be blurred by Stephen King, I'm going to pick it up. But I picked this one up in the UK because of the cover. I will give you guys a picture of the other cover here so you guys can sort of see the difference that I'm talking about. But I just absolutely love the cover of this one better. All of the other books of his that were next to it had this sort of cover on there. They had a typography that had a specific color, and then they had some sort of element on the side that was like this brown sort of thing. And I don't know, I absolutely loved it. I don't know much about this book. From what I have heard, it follows 2 dads and their daughter who go to like vacation in a cabin, probably by a lake or something, but a cabin. And somehow, I don't know how far into the story, but these people come up to them saying that it's the end of the world, and somehow this family is going to save them. I don't know anything else about it. I have heard good things, and so if I wasn't going to pick up Head Full of Ghosts by him, I was going to pick up this one. I also picked up Un-London by China Melville? I don't know how to pronounce that. But this is an author I have heard of before. I am pretty sure they're quite famous for like the sci-fi-ish type of books. This is a cover, again, that I liked this version more than the American version. I don't know much about this except for the fact that it is going to follow a couple people, Xana and Deba. I don't know if they're guys or girls or whatnot, but they end up in a sort of un-London. I don't know if it's under London or if it's just like the opposite version of London, but it's some sort of London and it's called Un-London, and it just sounded really good. Even my husband read the back of it and was like, ooh, I might want to read this. And I figured I was in London. This is about an un-London. It just sort of seemed to fit. It seems like a good book to start with this author because I have never read their books. and I just really liked the cover. And then I also picked up Lost Boy by Christina Henry. This is another one where the covers of these books I just love so much more than the American version. Now, she has done other books. She also did Alice, and I believe there was another version, there was a second one in that series about the Queen of Hearts. This one is obviously about Peter Pan. And again, the cover is the main reason I picked this up. But I also feel like I'm gonna like her things. I've heard many, many good things about this. This is a like version of Peter Pan of like, we've never heard this tale sort of thing, and I'm just really interested in it, and I'm even more interested in it with this cover here. And then I picked up Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. This is actually a book that I talked about in my books set in UK and Ireland video. I will leave that link down below in case you guys have not seen it yet. This one is set in Wales, and I have always wanted to read this. I've never actually seen the movie either. I know that they're not exactly the same thing, but I wanted to read the book before I saw the movie, and this is the cover I wanted. The cover, that's the American cover. Again, I will show you guys here. It is not what I wanted, and so when I saw this one, I had to pick it up. This is absolutely gorgeous. I love the covers that are like stylized either with the colors or the words or I guess silhouettes, so I had to pick this up. This is a book that, from what I understand, Sophie is our main character and somehow ends up cursed to be an old woman or look like an old woman, and Howl's Moving Castle is the only chance she has to break that curse. And so I'm super excited I have this now. Then I picked up Never Rolled Wake by Marisha Pessl. I actually have Night Film by her, haven't read it yet, but this is a newish book. It just came out recently in the US as well as a hardcover, but I love this cover, the colors, the words. I don't even know if this actually goes with the book very well because I don't know much about it, but this is a cover I would gravitate to like 3-4 times more than the original one that is for the US. Again, I will leave it right here. So I had to pick it up. It says, 5 friends, only one can survive. Who would you choose? So I don't know much about it. From what I can tell, it looks like our main character hasn't spoken to her previous friends since her boyfriend died, and now a year later she's going to go back to them and sort of try to figure out what happened, even though it could be very dangerous for her. I want to read this, and now I'm glad I have this cover. The next book I picked up is Children of Blood and Bone. This is actually the exact same cover as the US edition. The US edition is a hardcover book. However, this is a Waterstones exclusive edition. I believe it's mostly because it has the red stained pages, which is absolutely gorgeous. This is a book I have been wanting to read for a while. I've had many, many people tell me I have to read it, and for whatever reason, I just never really picked it up. But 1, red stained pages, but 2, it was signed. So I could not say no. I ended up picking up the paperback version from the UK instead. The next book we have here is Theatrical by Maggie Harcourt. This is a book that, as I looked it up on Goodreads and Amazon and everything, it looks like it is only available in the UK right now. It is not available in the US, but it looks super, super cute. I was a theater kid in high school, and so this was one of those ones where it seems like it's going to be a super cute, like, theater geek romance. It says, Hope is happiest out of the spotlight working backstage at her local theater, so she can't believe her luck when she lands a top internship on a major show. However, with a Hollywood star in the lead and his young understudy upstaging Hope's heart, she soon wishes life would stick to the script. I don't know, it seems super cute. It does say it's the UK's answer to Rainbow Rowell, so it does seem like this is going to be up that sort of alley, and I've liked some of the books that I've read by her, even though I have not read them all, so I had to pick this up. And then I also picked up Spellslinger by Sebastian de Castell. This is another version where we have a US version. I do not like the cover. When I saw this one, I was like, why did they change it? So I had to buy this in London. This is another one that has the red stained pages, which is just adorable. From what I understand, I believe the first 4 books are out in the US, but the first 3 are out in the UK. The UK third one actually is in hardcover right now, but I only picked up the first one. It says magic is a con game. So it looks like our main character is going to be doing a mage's duel or something. It looks sort of like magic and Wild West together. I don't know, it just sounded really, really good, so I had to pick it up. This was actually the last book that I purchased at Waterstones in London. We actually had to take my books in a tote bag as one of our carry-on on the plane. And then, because I could not help myself, I walked into a bookstore in the airport and bought 2 more books. One of them was The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. They had a few different little classics up at the register of this bookstore, and they are normally £8, but they were actually on sale for £1. So I could not help myself. I mean, when it's like pretty much $1, I had to. It's a cute little version. It has black stained pages, and I just had to pick it up. I really like the old-timey sort of style on there, so it was amazing. And then the reason I went into the bookstore was I saw this one, The Chalk Man by C.J. Tudor. I had been seeing ads for this in the Tube in London. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but it was half price, completely half price. So this one was, again, £8. I got it for around $4, so I got both of those books for £5. And this one also, let me remove this sticker really quick. It is blurbed by Stephen King. Again, as I said earlier, if there is a horror book that is blurbed by Stephen King, I am pretty much immediately going to pick it up. I actually really like the cover of this. It sort of feels like a chalkboard. It's almost that buttery, velvety feeling. Also, can we just look at this spine? It doesn't even have the title on there. It's just little chalk people, which is very interesting to me and sort of cute. It says, none of us ever agreed on the exact beginning. Was it when we started drawing the chalk figures, or when they started to appear on their own? Was it the terrible accident, or when they found the first body? That's all I know. It's blurred by Stephen King. I picked it up. Don't ask me how my life works, okay? So that is everything that I purchased on my honeymoon vacation type of thing in the UK and Ireland. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Leave me a comment down below. If you guys have read any of these books, I would love to hear what your thoughts were. Subscribe to this channel if you would like to see more videos. I do have videos up every Monday and Thursday, so I will see you then. Bye!